What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 9, Episode 16, Ari and Bini. So it is their wedding day. Hallelujah. It's finally here. For those of us who've been watching Ari and Bini since day one, wow, we have finally made it to their wedding day. How long has it been? I have no idea. 2 years, something like that. I don't know. But we are finally here. Okay. So it's going to be a Jewish ceremony. Benny said he wasn't that crazy about it being a Jewish ceremony, but then he thought that, she allowed me to baptize my son in a Christian ceremony. So the least I could do is to give her Jewish wedding ceremony as a compromise. Ari has allowed Benny's family to watch via Zoom. I have a feeling that if Ari did not want them to participate via Zoom, they would not have seen the wedding at all. But they will be able to watch the wedding, and thanks to Ari, I guess, whatever. The parents talk about how Benny needs to treat Ari well, but nothing was ever mentioned about Ari treating Benny well. And when you look back at the history of their relationship, I think if anything, Ari needed to be given advice to treat Benny well, because Ari's she's a little bit underhanded to me. She's a little bit sneaky, manipulative, underhanded. He's gonna have to be like one step ahead of her just to keep up with her. And what I mean by that is, if we go back to the history of Ari and Benny, we see how the original plan was for Ari to live in Ethiopia. So that was what they were going to do. That's what Benny was prepared to do, that he was going to have Ari come live with him in Ethiopia. Him and the baby were going to live with him in Ethiopia. She arrives in Ethiopia. For whatever reason, she flipped the script on him, changed her mind. She didn't want to live in Ethiopia anymore. So then he has to make arrangements to come to the U.S. We also remember how when their baby had a hernia and needed an operation, the plan was, just like the plan was for them to live in Ethiopia, the plan was for the baby to get the operation in Ethiopia. Ari didn't want to do that. She didn't trust Ethiopian doctors. Her mom got into her ear about how the operation would be a lot safer in the United States. And so Ari, the day before she left, drops the bomb on Benny, telling him that she's going to the United States for the baby's operation. Benny had no idea. Benny thought that the operation was going to take place in his own home country. So she takes him to a barber shop so that there'd be other people around in case he got crazy. She wanted to make sure that he wouldn't do anything, out of pocket. So she brings him to a public place like a barbershop for him to get his hair cut. And that's when she dropped the bomb on him that she was going to be leaving the next day with the baby to have the operation. Completely flipped the script on him. So then when she went there to go get him, to bring him back to the United States, but while she was over there, his family had no idea that they were going to be moving to the United States. I don't care what anybody says. Even Benny himself says that it was his idea to tell his sisters at the last minute that he was leaving for the United States, because he wanted just to tell them and then leave or something. I don't believe it. I think it was Ari's idea to have him tell his sisters at the very last minute that he was going to the United States to live permanently. Because that's what she does. She waits until the last minute to tell people what she plans on doing or what she's going to be doing, so that nobody can convince her otherwise, so she doesn't have to have a confrontation with anybody, so that she can get away with whatever the hell she wants. So the day before they were supposed to leave for the United States, that's when we had the wine throwing incident, when he dropped the bomb on his family and told them, hey, tomorrow I'm leaving for the United States. The sisters got upset about that because they believed that Ari had put him up to this, and so that's when the whole wine thing happened. So to see people telling Benny, oh, you need to treat Ari well, make sure you treat Ari well. Excuse me, what about Ari treating Benny well? What about her being less manipulative, less conniving to her own husband? I feel like a lot of the times, and I get this more from his family than Ari, but I get this feeling that they don't really see Benny for who he, especially the mother. The father is very silent, so I don't know exactly where the father's head is in all of this, but the mother is very vocal. Ari's mother is very, very vocal. And I don't think that she really appreciates who Benny is. I think she's very condescending towards Benny. I think that she kind of sees him as some child that, her daughter is just having fun with for the moment, even though they're getting married. I think Ari does appreciate Benny for who he is. I think Ari appreciates Benny a whole hell of a lot more than Emily appreciates Kobe. So I do feel like there is some understanding on Ari's part of who Benny is as a man. She understands his culture. She appreciates his culture. She appreciates who he is. So many times Ari will say throughout that, he's a good dad. He's a good partner. She doesn't want to take those things away from him. So the union between Ari and Benny, the problem that I have is that Ari was very manipulative in the past. Is she still going to be that way? I have no idea. Hopefully she hasn't. And let's not forget about how she confronted Benny and his, MMA partner in the gym when she came out of nowhere and she was attacking her, verbally attacking her about, Benny not telling her that he was going to be practicing with a female. How she just completely, showed her ignorant self in that whole scene, showing that she doesn't trust him. So the union between Ari and Benny, I'm not 100% enthusiastic about it. I don't support it wholeheartedly because, number one, I feel like Benny's only doing this because he needs to be close to his son. I think the reason why he's moving to America, marrying Ari because he has to, I think it's because it's for his son. Yes, he does have love for Ari, but I don't think he's like in love with Ari. I think Ari is in love with Benny. I think she is in love with him. I don't know. I just hope that I just really hope that she's going to treat him well because he's so far away from his family. He's so far away from his country. I hope that her and her family are going to treat him well. That mother of hers seems like she's going to be very involved with our relationship because I feel like Ari is going to run to her mother for every little thing, and the mother's going to show up, at their front door every single time Ari calls her mom and complains something about Benny. The mother's going to swoop in and try to tell Benny what to do, what not to do, and put him straight. So I hope Benny's prepared for that because I think that mother's going to be very, very, very involved in their marriage. The funny thing to me is that Ari wanted Benny to move to America so bad, but she wasn't prepared for him to be in America. The apartment was purchased by her parents. She had no job, no income, nothing. Everybody's probably going to be looking at Benny to hurry up and start making money to take care of his family, where it was like he was fine living in Ethiopia. He was doing well for himself in Ethiopia. But now that he's here, now that Ari has dragged him here and used his child to bring him here, he never wanted to come to America. He was happy in Ethiopia. But now that he's here, people are going to put this pressure on him to do whatever he needs to do to take care of Ari and their child. Ari's probably going to get away. As soon as Benny starts working, I'm pretty sure Ari's probably going to be like, why do I need to work? I have my parents and I have Benny. Why do I have to get up and go to work? I need to be home and to take care of my child. So I didn't get the feels that I got with Kara and Guillermo. I hope for the best for Benny. I don't think Ari is on the level of an Emily, but I don't know. I would have preferred to see Benny with someone else. I would have preferred to see Benny with someone who just didn't always... I don't know. I just don't see it for Benny and Ari. And the fact that, Ari still has this very strong tie to her ex-husband. I'm surprised the ex-husband wasn't standing at the altar with them. The fact that she still is dragging her ex-husband into, her relationship with Benny, I think it's just absolutely awful. To me, I feel like she still has feelings for her ex-husband. I think that she does love Benny and she wants to be with Benny, but I think she has a lot of unresolved issues with her ex-husband. I think that when she got with Benny, it was so impulsive and spontaneous, and she ended her marriage with her ex-husband so quickly just to be, with this, good-looking Ethiopian guy. I don't think she really thought things through. I don't think that she really dealt with the ending of her marriage the way she should have, because my understanding is she was still very much married to her ex-husband when she met Benny in Ethiopia, and because she was falling in love with Benny or having feelings for Benny or falling in lust with Benny, she decided to end her marriage with her ex-husband. So it was like a spur of the moment kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't think that she really fully dealt with the ending of her marriage, and that's why she's still dragging this man into her current relationship. The whole thing with the ex-husband is absolutely bizarre. And if she does really love Benny, and if she really does have any respect for Benny, she will never mention that man again. She will never bring that man around Benny ever, ever, ever again. She has to like cut that tie with that man permanently and forever. Just let that man go. That is not your man. Your husband has a problem with him. Your husband has an issue with that man constantly coming around. So, Ari, do the right thing and let that man go. But who knows? Because her own family is in support of Ari. What was his name? Alexander? Her own family is in support of her and Alexander maintaining their friendship. Her own family is in support of that. They see nothing wrong with that at all. So I watched the wedding. I felt sorry for Benny. My heart went out to Benny because I don't think that these people really like him. Like her family, I don't think they really care for him that much. I think that if Ari went to her family and said, you know what, it's not going to work out between me and Benny. We're going to break up. I don't think her parents are going to shed a tear over it. I don't think they're going to encourage her to stay and work it out with Benny. So that's how I judge things, how I judge things to see of whether or not people are in support of this relationship. If she told her parents we're breaking up, I don't think her parents would have any issue with that. If she told her parents that she was going to go back to Alexander or Alejandro, whatever his name is, I don't think her parents are going to have an issue with that. I think they'd be in support of that. That's just how I personally feel. So I feel bad for Benny. I really want it to work out because I do like Benny. I like him a whole lot. I think he's a really good guy. I've never cried on 90 Day Fiance, never shed a tear, not once, but I got close to being emotional when Benny was at the airport with Ari when she decided to take the baby back to the United States for his treatment, for his operation. And to see Benny break down at the airport, that really touched my heart. And so I'm very protective of Benny, extremely protective of him. I can understand why his sisters are the way they are, why they go so hard for him. I totally see it. I totally get it. And so, Ari, you better, if no one told you, girl, I'm telling you, you need to be good to that man. Take care of his heart. Stop these shenanigans with Alejandro. Stop these shenanigans with your parents. It is just you and Benny now. That man has sacrificed a lot to be with you. We don't even got to get into that. You need to be good to that man. Because he's always been good to you, Ari. He's always let you have your way. You need to be good to that man. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for joining me in this review. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.